Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss economics MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions as well as some practice questions. Through this series, we will cover important topics on economics for UPSC exam. So let's start our session. Our first question is, which good represents? Options are goods consumed by the salaried class, heavy capital goods used for income generation in a nation, goods produced by organized sector, export-based goods. Here, answer to this question is option A, that is, wage goods are goods consumed by the salaried class. Wage goods, in contrast to capital goods, are consumed by the workers of the country. In the initial phase of the Indian economic development, it was alleged that wage goods were given a lesser priority as compared to the capital goods that require a specialized workforce and heavy investment to pick up. Prominent economists like C.N. Vakil and R. Brahmananda advocated wage good model for the development of the Indian economy and industrialization. Vakil and Brahmananda differed from the Mahalanobis strategy as they believe at the low level of consumption, the productivity of the workers depends on how much they consumed. According to them, if people were undernourished, they will lose their productivity and become less efficient. At this juncture, it is necessary to feed them to increase their productivity. But this is not true for all consumer goods. So they differentiated between wage good, whose consumption increased workers' productivity, and non-wage good, whose consumption did not increase workers' productivity. So here answer to this question is option A. Next is question number 2. Which of these sectors was chosen as the prime moving force of the Indian economy in post-independence in the initial days of planning and development? Options are agriculture, industry, service sector, foreign investment. The answer to this question is option B, that is industry. The first 5-year plan came into implementation in 1952 and was largely focused on agriculture, and that includes creation of irrigation facilities, construction of dams, and laying infrastructure. But industry, infrastructure, science and technology, and higher education, to name a few, received greater emphasis in the early years after independence. This is because all these areas of development required heavy capital investment, as they had been severely avoided by colonial rulers for over 150 years or so. Increasing the growth of the economy, and that too with a faster pace, was the urgent need of the economy. Looking at the pros and cons of the available options, India decided to industrial sector to be the prime moving force of economy at that time. That is the initial days of post-independence. Next is question number 3. In post-independent India, the Mahalanobis model of economic plan laid stress on options are focus on consumer goods instead of capital goods, development of agriculture, reliance on heavy industries and import substitution, promoting foreign direct investment. Here, answer to this question is option C, that is reliance on heavy industries and import substitution. The second 5-year plan stressed rapid industrialization with particular emphasis on the development of basic and heavy industries and the public sector. It emphasized quick structural transformation. At the time of formulation of the second 5-year plan, Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, who was friend and advisor to Jawaharlal Nehru, prepared a growth model to achieve a rapid long-term rate of growth. Mahalanobis' model suggests that it would be essential to devote a major part of investment outlay to building of basic heavy industries. The target growth rate was 4.5% and the actual growth rate was 4.27%, slightly less than expected. The pillars of Nehru-Mahalanobis strategy were high savings rates to increase national income, heavy industry bias, protectionist policies and public sector, socialistic pattern of society. So here answer to this question is option C. Next is question number 4. Agriculture was chosen as the prime moving force of the economy since 2002 on the advice of Planning Commission. As a major policy shift, it was aimed at solving which of the following issues affecting the Indian economy. Options are boosting aggregate demand in the economy, that is correct. Ending the production monopoly of the PSUs in the agriculture sector, that is incorrect. Increasing rural employment, that is correct. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option B, That is statement 1 and 3 are correct and statement 2 is incorrect. Agriculture is a key feed to other industries. For example, food processing sector. An increase in agricultural growth directly translates to a growth in other sectors of the economy. The movement was intended not to cut down competition in any other particular sector of the economy, rather to facilitate growth in all the sectors. Investment in agriculture also involves creation of capital goods such as warehousing, irrigation, infrastructure, which both directly and indirectly generates employment. The other major challenges to be solved were food security, which in a sense of means ensuring adequate infrastructure in rural areas in agriculture. It is because of food security is not just about productivity. It is also about accessibility of food. It is also had to solve the case of India being a market failure. It means that goods and services are available in the economy, but there is a little demand. This is because majority of population lives on agriculture, which does not provide them with good purchasing power. With this policy shift, their incomes were supposed to be improved and market demand be boosted. This would also involve generating more rural employment. So here answer to this question is option B. Next is question number 5. Which of the following is not a public good? Options are electricity, national defense, lighthouse and public parks. Here answer to this question is option A, electricity. Electricity is not a public good, but it is club good, including roads, bridges, gas, sewage, wires, telecom, etc. Examples of public goods are education, infrastructure, lighthouse, flood control system, knowledge, national security and official statistics, etc. So your answer to this question is option A. Next is question number 6. Net domestic product can be used for which of the following? Options are to understand the historical situation of the loss due to depreciation to the economy. That is correct. To show the achievements of the economy in the areas of research and development. That is also correct. To compare the economies of the world. That is incorrect. Which of the statements are correct? Here answer to this question is option A. That is statement 1 and 2 are correct and statement 3 is incorrect. NDP is not used in comparative economics. That is, NDP is not used to compare the economics of the world. This is due to different rates of depreciation which is set up by the different economies of the world. Basically, depreciation and its rate are also used by modern government as the tool of economic policy making, which is the third way how depreciation is used in economics. It is also used to show achievements of the economy in the area of research and development. So option A is your answer. Next is question number 7. With reference to India, consider the following statements. WPI is available only on a monthly basis. That is incorrect. As compared to consumer price index for the industrial workers, the WPI gives less weightage to food articles. That is correct. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? Here answer to this question is option B. That is statement 2 only is correct and statement 1 is incorrect. In India, inflation is primarily measured by two main indices, that is WPI and CPI. WPI tracks inflation at the producer level and CPI captures changes in the prices levels at the consumer level. WPI does not capture changes in the prices of services, but CPI does capture changes of the prices of services. In WPI, more weightage is given to manufactured goods, while in CPI, more weightage is given to food items. So here, statement 2 is correct. WPI is published by the Office of the Economic Advisor, that is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It measures the changes in the prices of goods sold and traded in bulk by wholesale business to other businesses. CPI measures price changes from the perspective of a retail buyer. It is released by the National Statistics Office. The CPI calculates the difference in the price of commodities and services such as food, medical care, education, electronics, etc., which Indian consumers buy for sure. The CPI has several subgroups including foods and beverages, fuel and light, housing and clothing, bedding and footwear. 4 types of CPI are CPI for industrial worker, CPI for agriculture labor, CPI for rural labor, and CPI for rural and urban combined. Of these three, the first 3 are compiled by the Labour Bureau and 4th is compiled by the National Statistics Office. So here answer to this question is option B. Next is question number 8. Which of the following would cause aggregate demand curve to shift to the right? Options are an increase in purchase of the federal government, that is correct. An increase in real interest rate, incorrect. An appreciation of the American dollar, incorrect. A decrease in the money supply, incorrect. So here answer to this question is option A. An increase in purchase by the federal government causes the aggregate demand curve to shift to the right. Aggregate demand consists of sum of consumer spending, investment spending, government spending, and difference between export and imports. When any of these aggregate demand inputs change, there is a shift in aggregate demand. Aggregate demand curve shift to the right when the components of aggregate demand rises. Aggregate demand will shift back to the left when these components fall. So here answer to this question is option A. Next is question number 9. What is meant by price discrimination? Options are increase in price of a commodity over time. Same product is sold at different consumers for different prices. That is correct. Subsidization of a product by government. General decrease in price of commodity over time. Here answer to this question is option B. When different consumers pay different prices for the same product is known as price discrimination. For example, if a company offers a student discount on their product, it is considered as a price discrimination. Generally, the student may not have enough money to buy products and are thus more sensitive to the price changes. So the business then try to attract the target market by marketing their items cheaper. So here answer to this question is option B. Next is question number 10. What is meant by public good? Options are a commodity produced by the government, a commodity whose benefits are individually spread among the entire community, a government scheme that benefits the poor households, any commodity that is very popular among general public. Here answer to this question is option B, that is a commodity whose benefits are indivisibly spread among the entire community. Public goods means commodity or service which is given without profit to everyone in a society by the government or any organization. Public goods are those that are both non-excludable and non-rivalrous. In other words, the supplier cannot prevent people from using the good, nor will its consumption prevent others from accessing it. Such examples include defense, policing, street lights. So here answer to this question is option B.